Republican Senator Tim Scott from the state of South Carolina says we have to end reliance on Russian oil. I just saw Nikki Haley just texted something very similar, saying it is unthinkable, Senator, that we are still importing over 672,000 barrels of oil a day from Russia. I put up on the screen as I toss a question to you, Senator, a really important chart, because what you also hear from this administration is we're addressing the problem. We're releasing barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Well, look, the last time they did it, November 23rd, 50 million barrels. Prices have only gone up from there. And then we have the announcement yesterday of another strategic release, and you have prices yet going up again. It's not working, Senator.
No doubt about it, Sandra. I will say this without any question, that when you think about importing over 600,000 barrels of oil at over $100 per barrel, you're talking about $60 million, American dollars, being pumped into the Russian economy. Had we went forward with the Keystone Pipeline and had 800,000 barrels coming into our country over the next several months or years, we would be able to eliminate any dependence on Russian energy. This is a catastrophic decision that Biden made on his first day in office. That means that the prices that we're seeing today are reflective of his decisions a year ago, not reflective of the conflict that started days ago. We need better leadership in this country. We need to make sure that national security is indeed synonymous with energy independence. They are as close as wet is to water. They are inseparable. Why the president of the United States does not understand that, I have no clue.
Senator, when we look at how we got here, we point to the State of the Union speech last night, in which the president said this about the situation in Ukraine with Russia.
He thought the West and NATO wouldn't respond. He thought he could divide us at home, in this chamber, in this nation. He thought he could divide us in Europe as well. But Putin was wrong. We are ready.
This idea that we are ready, I think critics might say that's open for debate.
Well, there's no question. When you think about where we were in 2014, the last time Putin decided to invade Ukraine, we had the same failed leadership from President Biden as we had in 2014. What the Russians understand is power. We didn't see this under President Trump, and now we're seeing it again. What do those two have in common, the 2014 and 2022? Weak leadership from our White House. Strong leadership is, in fact, the best repellent to an Eastern mindset. We cannot try Western diplomacy consistently day in and day out in an area of the world that doesn't respect just negotiation. You have to have every tool in the toolkit on the table to negotiate with someone of the likes of Putin.
Senator, based on the war that is happening over there and the reality for Americans here at home and the impact that we are seeing from that, here's a headline in Axios this morning. $100 plus oil is the new reality after Russia's Ukraine invasion, saying that energy costs continue to spiral higher, with U.S. and European crude benchmarks both leaving the century mark in the dust. We're looking at our benchmark, 111, highest since 2011. The European benchmark, $113 a barrel. So will the American people have to face what may be a new reality as far as energy prices in our lives here at home?
So some have even suggested that the price could go as high as $140 a barrel. So what does that mean? Let's translate that. That means for Americans living paycheck to paycheck, rationing between energy prices and their drugs as well as their food becomes a reality. Too many Americans can ill afford any more increases at the pump, or when it's time to heat your home or cool your home, they have to make a decision about whether or not they can afford to do that, plus take their medicine. This is a catastrophe that can be avoided. We have to focus our attention and our efforts on being energy independent, because this we have seen before. And if we don't learn the lesson now, we will see it again. And by the way, 30 million barrels being released, that's less than 2 days of oil.
Yeah.
That oil goes through cars pretty quickly. Senator, I want to ask you this, because Republicans and Democrats at Capitol Hill are working on a bipartisan aid package for Ukraine. But what is taking so long? By the time it gets done, there may be nothing left in Ukraine.
John, that's a great question. One of the things I hope we would do immediately is spend the time on that package right now. Let's quit bickering about other issues. Let's start focusing on those people who are freedom-loving, liberty-defending, who need our assistance. We can say yes right now to a package. Listen, last night the president said we sent $1 billion to the Ukrainians when we're spending $60 million a day, $60 million a day in buying energy from Russia. And so just how many days does it take for us to eclipse what we've sent to the Ukrainians? Not very many. So this is a challenge that we can face today, come up with a solution today, and implement it tomorrow.
Well, what are you, as a member of Congress, a sitting senator, going to do about this? We continue to buy oil at this hour from an enemy that is causing amazing destruction in that country right now of Ukraine. What is Congress going to do to hold the president accountable if he's not going to act on this?
Well, today at 2 o'clock, Republicans are having a press conference to push that very point, that we can act and we should act together. The president talked about national unity. Americans are unified in support of the Ukrainians. Let's start by acting on a aid package today. Let's provide more resources, and let's start the engines of energy independence by permits being said yes to on public land and going back to the table, restart the Keystone Pipeline. There are things that we can do today, and will send a signal to the American people that we're paying attention to their needs while addressing our strategic national interest.
All right, Senator Tim Scott of South Carolina, good to catch up with you today. Thanks so much for your thoughts.
Thank you, Senator.
Thank you both. God bless.